This is Shin, and now he finds himself in a sticky situation after discovering that he must regain his powers from 7 different girls. The best part is that it was actually his mom that sealed his energy within the other girls, since she knew our boy would have trouble with them. One of the girls happens to be his lifelong bully whom he detests, but at least she knows what she's doing when she wants to drink a big Slurpee from 7-Eleven. And so Hong ganks Shin due to his energy being unlocked within her, but she can't help herself as she wants his Slurpee flavor really bad, even if they are in public space. However, Shin finally became a man after telling Hong that she can't bully him anymore, so he left to the nearest bathroom. He is then shocked that he was finally able to tell her off, since our soy boy has been tormented by her for over 10 years. So now he's free from his bully, but I think he forgot he has to unlock his energy lost within her. As he ponders on what to do next, the door suddenly burst open, with Hong leading the charge into the bathroom, sending Shin flying off. After she shouts his name, our boy instinctively makes excuses and blames it on his meds, so in an instant he returned to his soy boy form. But the turntables turn, and she quickly runs over to him to apologize, so she mutters the words "I'm sorry" for the first time ever. As such, our boy is super confused as he's still too dumb to put 2 and 2 together, after forgetting he smashed her rice cakes the day before. With Shin still stuck on the floor, she ends up cosplaying the Canadian Royal Mounted Police and proceeds to use her knowledge of science to create friction. After creating some friction, she hops off and gets herself stuck in a very sussy position, explaining that ever since yesterday, she has felt some super weird energy stuck within her. Upon hearing Hong stumble on her words trying to explain what she's feeling, it finally dawned on our boy that it's actually his powers and energy taking over her, making her such a mess. So now we finally remember that Hong is one of the girls he needs to retrieve his lost energy from, or else she will continue being a big sussy baka. And so, like a true Sigma male, he orders her to slap him in the face, so now she thinks he's the sussy baka. After initially hesitating due to not wanting to inflict any damage on his face, she channels her inner championship slapping tournament vibes and goes for it. And as she sends her hand flying straight into him, she anxiously tells him to not get mad as he's the one that told her to do it. After slapping the heck out of him, nothing happens, and Shin even got to feel the wrath of her attack, so he tells her to try the other side. This time, she decides to channel her inner Jackie Chan, causing her hand to glow as she aims for the other side. With her hand glowing and now a handprint glowing on his face as well, surely this must be the way for her to relieve whatever energy is stuck within her. However, she fooled us all like it's an April Fool's joke, since she went to grab his banana tree plantation instead of making contact with his face. So now she's taken the matter into her own hands again, and due to her being thirsty, she grabbed the Slurpee flavor Shin and went to town. She then starts explaining herself, saying that it was as if her body moved on her own, so she starts blaming his face instead as she continues to be the royal Slurpee expert. With Shin not knowing what to do, he just sits there and lets the entire event unfold, watching Hong try her hardest to spill his honey tea. The event then escalates as Hong proceeds to let the battering ram enter her city catacombs, but she knows there's no protective wrapper on the siege equipment today. Regardless, she proceeds to continue on with her attack as she's the one that forces in the siege equipment inside her city walls. Eventually, Shin decides that it's his turn to command the attack deep inside the city of Hong, as she can't let her do everything herself. Meanwhile, another patient quickly dashes to the bathroom, since he's an old man with a small bladder. However, he asks for help from a nearby nurse as he can't believe the bathroom door is unlocked, and that should not be the norm. Inside the door, Hong rides on into the mountain climax, unable to believe she's actually going through with everything, but like my Valorant teammates, all they shout is "go" and "overheat." Back outside the door, the woman tells the old man that she's unable to find the keys, so she asks if she can use the one downstairs instead. However, the man tells her they need to open this one, since there could be someone inside that needs urgent help and they can't unlock the door. The woman then makes a face, realizing that the old bro has a point, so she quickly starts knocking on the door, asking if anyone is stuck inside. Truth be told, there is indeed someone stuck inside, but it's Hong, who just got startled alongside Shin, since these two are absolute menaces. Upon hearing the commotion outside, Hong freezes like it's the mannequin challenge all over again, since she can't have what happened the night before at the playground. However, Shin transformed into the Street Fighter Shin, so he springs into action, making Hong feel better as she thought everything would now be over. Now, like a true Chad, he tells her that he will help get both of them to the finish line, as the race isn't over, so they can't leave the arena yet. So now she gets even more flustered as she never expected the soy boy to be turned super masculine for once, so her fountain starts leaking abruptly. Outside the door, the woman is called a locksmith, while the old man was able to find a random engineer, so the door will soon break open. However, the two lovebirds have no care in the world as they continue chugging on, but let's just say Hong's door has been broken long ago. Eventually, Shin can't handle operating his machine, so he makes an oofsy face, realizing his machine is about to spill all over, and that would be a disaster without proper protection. It would be exactly like an oil spill in the ocean, so Hong orders him to control his machine or else she will destroy his very essence in life. With not much time to react, he has mere seconds to figure out where to let the machine spill all over, so he pushes Hong off onto the floor. He then decides that he likes girls with no makeup, so he targets the face to make sure Hong is all natural. He then quickly asks Siri to Google an excuse to make, but it fails since he forgot his phone, so he just says sorry to a disheveled Hong. Luckily, she only calls him a moron since she's now fully engulfed in the power and extracts of his banana plantation, so she probably smells. She then passes out from the intense event, but before she closes her eyes, she commands him to make sure they get out of there in one piece. Fast forward to the next day, every girl is busy pulling a Gossip Girl episode as it's now the talk of the town about a patient going crazy inside a bathroom. It's then revealed that two lovebirds' majestic plan was to just hightail out of the room, causing everyone to get stricken with surprise. It then turns out that everyone knows Shin was involved, but the girl somehow got away due to her putting on a hood and covering her face like a thief. Nonetheless, the doc of the entire ward walks in, not knowing what has occurred, since her time is always spent being a busybody. To be honest though, big props to our boy as he was able to assert his dominance for the first time ever. Anyways, back to the action as all the other patients now think Shin is a big hot shot as they can't believe he pulled off something so impressive. But I retract my compliment as it turns out he's now hiding underneath his covers, busy replaying what just happened last night over and over. We then discover that it was actually Hong's plan to disappear like a ninja as she wanted Shin to take all the blame, but her mission was a success. Now with the entire place calling him a god, he attempts to escape all the eyes on him, so he runs to hide outside. However, the door suddenly swings wide open with a woman right behind, causing Shin to stop right in his tracks. It turns out to be a doc earlier, and since she was in a hurry, she ends up crashing straight into Shin as she did not expect someone to be up and about. Luckily, Shin is able to soften the blow to the ground due to his dump truck, but the girl is instantly worried, asking our boy if he's okay, but we know Shin is already falling in love. But then, unknowingly, his hand starts glowing after the impact with her, so now another challenger has entered the fray. Nevertheless, with a frantic pink-haired girl asking if our boy is alright, he confirms to her that he's totally fine. But then the pain finally hit him. Even I would never hope for my biggest enemies to feel the pain that Shin is going to go through right now, as we discover he actually got kneed at the wrong place. Finally, his delayed scream erupts as the adrenaline fighting off the pain from the original impact subsides. But since you can't really do much, the girl moves on to check on her other patients, leaving our boy behind in scathing pain. After a few more moments, Shin finds himself lucky as he's able to walk in one piece back into his room. With him walking back in, all he could think of is how he's still sore in the wrong spot, so he hopes in the future that he will still be able to have kids after the ordeal. He then stops for a moment to stare at Pinky, totally surprised that she's the one in charge as she totally looks like a girl next door. Shin also can't help himself but watch from behind as he's too amazed with what he sees, but then they suddenly call him over to help with a procedure. However, the old man starts flailing his arms and legs as he doesn't want the legendary machine to get close to him, but he has no other choice. And so he starts helping out as they needed to pin the man down, due to him being scared of needles just like me. Then out of nowhere, he starts feeling some bags of clouds aloft his head as Pinky pushes herself closer to get a better hold of the procedure. Afterwards, they successfully inject the old man, so he heads back to sleep while Pinky is super thankful to Shin. So she asks if she can get him tea for being so helpful.